Hello everyone, good to see you again. Thank you for joining on my another live stream today. Alright, so let's get started. Today is the 22nd of August 2020 on Saturday. So hope you're having a great weekend today. Alright, so today is Saturday. So every Saturday I talk about some psychology or money management related topics. And today I will talk about 5 basic rules to find and build your own strategy. So I just picked up 5 important and basic rules that I think to create your own strategy when I think back my own strategy. So hopefully you can enjoy today's live too. Alright, so let's see. Oh yeah, so before starting, if you're new to my channel, my name is Kei, and I am a Japanese full-time Forex trader based in Tokyo, Japan. And in this video, in this YouTube channel, I mainly talk about how not to lose over time for those who have been still struggling in trading. Also, I have been using Ichimoku Kinko-hyo for the last 5 years, and this is one of my main trade strategies. And I have been sharing extensive knowledge through the original books in this YouTube also. And as far as I know, I think I'm the only Japanese trader who teaches Ichimoku Kinko-hyo from the original books in English. So hopefully you enjoy my Ichimoku lectures too. I run close to Ichimoku community also. So if you're interested, you can click on the join button on YouTube, and you're always welcome to find the community. Alright, so let's get to today's topic. Let me pull up the file. So yeah, that was the last minute that I finished creating this one. So hopefully everything's okay. Otherwise I will just revise it while I'm talking today. Alright, so let me quickly go over who's here first. Josie and Kalaf, thank you for joining. WM, S. Johan, T, 3147, good to see you. Tauhid, Melanie, thank you for joining. Good to see you. Bugsy, good to see you too. Anchor, Jobart, Sunday, and Zoib, thank you for joining. MZN, thank you for joining as well. Alright, good to see you. And Vincent, Danny, Lawrence, Mehdi, thank you for joining. Alright, Checkmate, and Cyril, D-Hard, thank you for joining. And Pat B, and David, Dinesh, and Jagadish, Mahdev, and Zeropia, and S. Johan, thank you for joining everyone. Good to see you. Alright, so let's get started now. So yeah, today's topic is about 5 basic rules to find your own strategy. So as I created this file today at the cafe this afternoon, I was looking back my own strategy, which is KTS, which is actually presented on this YouTube live streams or YouTube platform. But I came up with this KTS a while ago. It was I think 2 or 3 years ago. I made it solid on my own strategy, and it's been my own strategy. I was the only one, of course, who was taking and using the KTS by my own, because obviously I wasn't out here like public on YouTube or any other medias. I was basically taking trades all by myself. I had no mentors. I had no traders friends in Japan or other countries. So basically, yeah, it was all original for me. So in that case, right, in that sense, I am not really biased towards any other strategies, because this is purely based on my own strategy. So hopefully today I will show you exactly how I came up with these strategies based on my own experience, based on the 5 rules that I think is most important. Okay, so before starting here, this is just based on my knowledge and experience. So when you take trades or when you actually analysis, right? Please take a full responsibility on your own. So actually today's topic is about based on this email. I received this email a couple of days ago, and it says thank you for your amazing work on what you do on the YouTube channel, and I'm learning something new day by day and became profitable in KTS. I really appreciate it. I have one question, if you don't mind asking. How did you come up with such a powerful strategy? I have been trying to find a solid strategy for the last several months, but never got any chance. Please let me know what kind of tips is necessary to build my own. Thank you for your time. Warm regards, and Mr. Dan. And first of all, thank you for sending me the email, Mr. Dan. So, and I get similar emails, or I get similar comments on the YouTube, and that's why I decided to pick up this topic, how to build up your own strategy. So, I think there are 5 basic rules that you want to take whenever you want to build up your own strategy. And here is actually the 5 basic rules. First one is it should be classic. The strategy should be classic, and the strategy should be simple, and it should be understandable. Right? It should be understandable easily. And also the first point is solid backtesting result. And also you have to keep the rules and forward test it to the future market. So let me go over one by one. Alright, so the first is the trade strategy should be classic. And so first of all, let me make it clear one thing. That is, as long as you have stable profit in trading, whether it's a classic or complex or esoteric strategies, it may be, right? It doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't really matter, in my opinion, because trading is all about making profit over a week or over a month or over a year. And simply speaking, that's it, right? That's it for the tradings. So in other words, we cannot say that classic strategy will make you profit, or complex strategy is, totally wrong, right? We cannot say that. So what I wanted to say is, when you are still struggling with finding some trade strategy, then you have lots of information in your head and lots of things to think about to build up your own strategy. And most likely you are not being able to control your own thoughts or your own emotions. And as a result, when you see some talks about like classic strategies like candlestick or support, resistance lines or trend lines, you might think, oh, I know all that already, right? Teach me something new, teach me some secrets. You might think like that. So if I can just forward it, what I mean by classic is actually these 3 points. Like price action is very classic, right? And also candlestick patterns are also very classic. And also lines, support line, resistance line, or trend line, right? These are very basic and classic. So I think these are the most important components when you build up your own strategy. But sometimes we might forget about the fact that these are the most very powerful, and these are the most basic strategy in whatever you wanna take trades. So, but I used to think that I wanted to know something new. I wanted to gain more knowledge. I wanted to have more deeper understanding on any other indicators or signals. So, yeah, and I used to think like that when I was constantly looking for a strategy. So I know if you feel that way, right? If you feel that way, I know exactly how you feel. But most of the time, what's wrong is when to use them and how to use them. So if you think it's a bad strategy just because you cannot use well on your analysis, that's just blaming others or just blaming the indicator, or maybe it's blaming whatever the tools it might be. And if you're still thinking like that in your head, you are not suitable, for trading, because trading is all about self-responsibility and discipline. And this is something that I learned from my past mistakes too. So if you don't know what to start with, then start studying price action and lines and candlestick patterns first, and study them intensively, because they are the backbones and classic of the market. And what's good about it is that once you take a deep step into price action and lines, then you will know whether the problem was in the trader strategy itself, or the problem is in you cannot use it correctly. And you can find lots and lots of information out there about the classic strategies. So in that sense, you will have a good chance to have more productive backtesting strategy. So the point is to become productive in backtesting, right? Not become productive in trading. And please keep that in mind. So I just posted this classic. This is actually the Japanese subway names, and we've got lots and lots of like subway lines in Tokyo, Metro Tokyo. So it's very complex, but the name or the way that it's presented should be classic. We have to use a classic method, and that's why I just laid out here. And actually that leads to the second component. That is actually, the trader strategy should be simple. So up here is actually the metro map, subway map in Tokyo, and it looks like very complex, right? But when you simplify it, it becomes like this. It becomes very simple drawing. It's just this, and everything else is just some additional information, additional lines. If you understand this one, this diagram or this map, then you can basically travel within Tokyo, Japan. But we tend to think like this, right? If you add more indicators, if you add more strategies, more knowledges to the market, then your mind might be very complex and it becomes like this. So what I want to say is that you want to simplify the strategy, and that is the second point. I think it's very important whenever you build up your own strategy. So simplicity is the key here. And again, I'm not here to say simple strategy can win you or complex strategy cannot win you. No, right? I don't really mean that. But simply speaking, when we have a lot of information, a lot of input, we tend to pick some information that is convenient to you, or we tend to pick up information that suits you and decide what to do based on those suitable informations to you. And in fact, we have lots of informations out there, and so if you keep picking up the information that suits you, for example, let's say you're running some loss, and when you find a Kumo breakout for exit timing, but when you look at the MACD or stochastics, for example, and it may look like they are golden cross, they are gold crossing, while Kumo breakout is happening towards the downside, and you might have some contradictions between indicators. So you might decide, so okay, let's hold the loss, and you might think like that, right? Or let's say you are running some profit already when you buy some point, and you run some profit already, and you find that the price breaks the Kijun-sen uppers, for example. You find that the price breaks the Kijun-sen uppers, showing that the market is continuously bullish. But when you look at the RSI, for example, it shows overbought signal. So you might think that, oh, let's take profit already, and you might think like that too, right? So, and if you keep repeating this habit over time, then you cut losses too early. You cut losses too late, so that you run losses over time. and you take profits too early. And this is another mistake I have had actually when I got frustrated over time when I was a newbie. So trade strategy should be very simple, and that's it. So this is my KTS strategy. I only look at Kumo angle, Kumo Senko span AB, and Kijun Sen directions to capture trends. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. And this is my backbone to capture trends. So whenever Senko span BA moving up and Kijun Sen up also, that's uptrend. But whenever you see Kijun Sen goes flat and Kumo goes flat, this is ranging market. So between here and here, roughly right between here and here, I won't look for the buy chance. But when Kijun Sen is moving up, I look for the buy chance. So this is not exactly the trading edge for me, but this one was. And later on, the Kijun Sen went flat, and now you see Senko span A is flat and Senko span B flat too, and Kijun Sen flat. So I won't look for buy chance anymore right now. So that's pretty simple, right? That's pretty simple. And of course I look at the candlestick patterns and I draw lines also. But this Kumo, Senko span AB, Kijun Sen angles is the main part that I look at to capture trends or not. So like this, a trader strategy should be very simple and understandable. And that's the second key to build up your own effective strategy. Alright, so another criteria should be, I think it's important to build your own strategy, is that the strategy should be understandable for yourself. And this is actually, I think this is the junction. For example, if you have no idea on how a particular indicator is calculated, you cannot judge whether it works or not in particular market condition, particular market cases. I use Ichimoku Kinko Hyo on my own trade analysis because I understand the calculation of Ichimoku Kinko Hyo. And I know what it tries to capture and what it cannot do, what Ichimoku cannot do. And also, I know when it works appropriately or not in the market. And that's why I use Ichimoku Kinko Hyo as my main part of my strategy. And so are other indicators, right? So, but I don't want you to use Ichimoku just because I use it, unless you know how it works in the market. Because once you know how it works and how it's calculated, then you know the better way to use it. For example, after studying Ichimoku from the original books and using Ichimoku for the last 5 years almost, I decided to use this tool not to find trading edges, where to buy, where to sell. Right? I don't use Ichimoku Kinko Hyo to really look for the trading edges, but I decided to use this tool to capture overall market situation, which is presented on my day-to-day videos and lives. So, for example, if you have ever played like a baseball, you don't want to be at the batter's box in a major league while not knowing how to swing a bat properly or how to hold the bat properly. But in trading, it becomes possible. So I encourage everyone to build up a solid foundation over time in any indicators you use. So understanding of the indicator itself is very important too. So that's the third criteria. Okay, and the fourth one is to build your own strategy, is to have a solid back testing result on yourself. On the internet, we can see lots of comments or lots of like pages who claims that they have like 90% winning rate strategy and just give these flashy results and gain traffics to to their website or to their YouTube channels. However, when you think about it from the business point of view, I think it's reasonable because I think it's reasonable to do that for those who depends on their income in YouTube or website traffic, or for the sake of their ads revenue. Simply because there are newbies in trading always, right, who hate the losses, and there are medias or the persons who gain more access in the world. So their supply, the supply and demand in that sense match to run businesses. And I think the point is not whether the strategy is really 90% or whether they take risk to reward ratios or number of trades. I don't think these are the point. What I think is the point is that whether you can have the same result as they claim. I think that it makes the big difference. And maybe they just clip some market where their strategy works, maybe, and just take a screenshot and upload it on their websites, maybe. And what's more, whether you can keep the same rule, you can draw the same lines, for example, and whether you can find the same trade entry chances or not is the point, actually. And when you think about all these, you notice that there is no strategy that can completely be the same among any traders. It's impossible. It's impossible. Of course, if you trade by my own strategy KTS, you have a different result from me, right? The way I use KTS and the way you use KTS should be different, and the trade chances should be different because we look at chart different timings and we look at different charts maybe. So what I want to say here is that you need to backtest yourself and find out how it performs when you use the strategy in the long term. And once you have the decent result, then you start taking trades real time. If you just believe what's written on the website, then you will keep wasting your time and effort. Alright, so the fifth criteria that I think is important is that you need to keep your own rules and forward test your own strategy. So most of the traders quit using some new strategy, right, just because they have only 1 or 2 weeks of losses. However, the performance of trading should be considered in the long run. And also what's more important is whether you have been able to keep your own rules. And that's exactly why I offer the GTS class as my hands-on training based on my own strategy, KTS money management and psychological management. So once you have the decent strategy from the back testing, then now it's time for you to forward test. You can test it in a real trades for the next 3 months or 6 months, and make sure to have a decent result as the creator suggests. For me, my back testing or my forward testing right now, I have a 10% to 20% return per month, and I have a profit factor of more than 3. And this is my own strategy, and that's my performance. But you cannot copy exactly my trades, so it depends on you, right? How you can come up with these strategies, and how you can understand it, and how you can apply into your trade analysis. So I think that's another important factor. So yeah, to conclude that, I think these are the 5 basic important rules that you want to build up your own strategy. So it should be classic, and it should be simple, and it should be understandable, easy to understand, and also solid backtesting result is needed. And finally, you have to keep the rules and forward test yourself, so that possibly you might have a same or maybe better result than the creator itself. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for today's talk. So let me just ask one quick question here, just as like a Q&A session afterwards, a conversation time maybe. Who is still struggling to build up your own strategy? If yes, then please type yes. Yeah, so actually it took me like I think it took me 3 years to come up with this KTS. Actually there are in and out of these indicators or tools that I use up until now, and this will be changed over time in the future too, because I change. So maybe next year I might be using different strategy. So but this is how I change my strategy over time, to be able to adapt to the changing market over time. So yeah, I think this is another one thing extra important, but you have to change strategy over time because market is never the same in the past. Yeah, is it a 20% return every month? Not every month. My return is 10 to 20%. 10 to 20% per month, every month. Yeah, yes. Okay, I got lots of yeses now. Still working on strategy. Okay, so what do you think is difficult to find your strategy? There are many strategies out there, right? I mean, I have my own KTS strategy, and there are millions of strategies out there. But what do you think it's making it difficult to find your own strategy? Is the next question. Right. Oh yeah, so when you come to my website, I recently posted my overall chart result here. So yeah, it's been revised a couple of times, and I keep revising this page. So when you come to about and profile page, you will see my whole profile on what I've been doing. And here I have a overall performance since 2013. 2013-14 was quite a mess, especially 2013 was a mess, right? As you can see, like I was very struggling, and also 2014 too, I was very struggling. But 3 years later, I started to have green caps, and here is my trade history in this year from April 2020. Ever since I started this mentoring, monthly, like 3-month mentoring, I started to track my record in Excel file. Well, actually I used to do it, so I will post it more and more. But these are the rough results, so that you can get what kind of performance I have over every month. So I hide it. I focus on max drawdown per month to be less than 2%, and also profit factor and R multiple to be more than 3. And I don't focus on the winning rate. And actually this is part of my strategy too. So I set the rule that I don't focus on the winning rate, and actually it made me very easy to build up the strategy. If I focus on the winning rate and also a risk to ratio, then I find it's very difficult to find these edges. But once I focus on one of these, either winning rate or profit factor, then it actually made me so easy to build up my own strategy. So yeah, if you're still struggling, maybe you can just focus on one of these, either a winning rate or a profit factor or a multiple, to build it up on your own. Alright. じゃあ this following Ichimoku 均衡表 honestly less deep losses but steadily profits. Long to go. Alright? That's good, that's good. Discipline, patience. Yeah, that's very important keywords. Alright, trading. Future Kumo change. Okay, too many indicators are confusing. Yeah, that's true. So you can just take like 1 or 2 indicators and that'll do. Finding time to backtest. Yeah, you have to buy time to backtest. That is also a very important investment on your own. Yeah, I used to backtest every weekends, or whenever I came back from work, I used to backtest by my own. Sudden change of span A and span B either up or down. Alright. I'm combining a bot and my own strategies, okay? Alright, good to see you. Individual thinking or approach. Alright. Fake breakout and breakdown is an issue. Okay. Yeah, I think yeah, so discipline is a key word. So whenever you backtest, right, you don't want to switch these strategies, of course. You want to stick to one strategy or 2 strategies, or combination of multiple strategies, and backtest by your own. But unless you backtest by your own, you cannot come up with the confidence on yourself, and also you might not gonna be able to find the edges on your own. Yeah, so you might get loss cuts on the fake breakouts, or you might get a struggle with these sudden movements in the market. And I think it depends on which time frame you look at, but I think that's very yeah. If you lose like over time, like 5 times consecutive, then you might quit using that strategy, or maybe you might adjust yourself to better performance on that strategy. Yeah, my rule is that once I have 3 consecutive losses, then I don't take trading that day, because I know there must be something wrong in the market. Based on my backtesting result for the last 3 or 5 years, I don't have 3 consecutive losses. But once I have, in the future sometime, then that means either my psychology is something wrong, or either the market is not really favorable to that strategy. So I quit trading on that day and come back to chart next day. Yeah, and also I know that this is not psychologically healthy for me, right? For me, 3 consecutive losses is already like enough, right? I cannot take further losses anymore in the day. I might get either discouraged, or I might get frustrated. So that's why I decide myself to quit trading once I have 3 consecutive losses in a day. So that's another type of approach to your strategy too. Not just where to buy, where to sell, but also how many times you take trades in a day, or how many losses you can tolerate yourself. Fear of sudden dumps. Yep, there are lots of like spikes up and downs. Yep. Alright. Hi James, thank you for joining. Alright, Encore, could you please explain points to be included in the strategy? What kind of points do you mean? So 5 points. These 5 points are important. It should be classic, simple, and it should be understandable to yourself. So yeah, don't go for some indicator that you don't know. Yeah, if you don't know the strategy or the indicator yet, then please study before you take it in your own strategy, because you never know how it behaves, and you never know how you can interpret the market with these unknown indicators. So yeah, I use myself Ichimoku for the last 5 years, and it's been working for me, and that's why simply I keep using it. Yeah. Okay, did you use Ichimoku in 2013-14? Yeah, I have. Well, actually, for the first 3 or 4 months, I used it, but not anymore. So yeah, on this one, actually, the 2013 was a scalping year. So most likely, I did between scalping and day trading. I was between that. So yeah, in the beginning of 2013, I used Ichimoku, but later in this year, not anymore. Yeah. Patience is really the key. I'm still learning how to be patient, to not take profit too early and take too long to stop loss. Yeah. Right, patience is the very key, right? Especially when you're losing, when you're having some losses, you want to be patient whether to exit or not. Yeah. Alright, S. Johanna, whenever I buy in candle high, price moves down, and whenever I sell in candles low, price moves up. Okay, so you have to come up with a reason why the market behaves like that. Then you have to fine-tune your own strategy. Right, Baxi, I'm interested in bots because they take away the emotion. Yeah, that's true. Bot or EAs, right? There is no emotions. They are done automatically, and with decent solid like a strategy. Yes, patience, I think it is the biggest factor for me. Alright? Patience. Would you trust a robot that trades Ichimoku? And Baxi also says, I don't know of Ichimoku robot trades. I think it must be very complicated. Personally, I never use robot trading in Ichimoku, so I'm not really sure how it works actually. Yeah, I take trades, I put the stop loss manually, and I take profit manually. So everything is done manually in my strategy. So yeah, I don't use bots. Maybe Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen crosses on 1 hour chart. Okay, so that's one hypothesis. So you can backtest on your own. Alright, hi Duke, thank you for joining. To see you. Ankara, I mean apart from your entry exit. Oh, okay, so individual thinking approach. Yeah. Bots will fail in time. Yeah, I don't really use bots. I mean, signals I think okay. If it doesn't execute trades automatically, but it just gives you some signals, then maybe it's okay, because it's going to be you whether take trades or not by these signals. But robots, I don't think I use it. Yeah, chart patterns, money management. Yeah, these are important aspects too. Because my entry was very late for the past 1 week, I was trading like that. Okay, so you already know the result. You already know the result, so you can enter more more earlier. Then that might be solving the problem. Don't ever trust a robot trade or copy trade, believe me. Yeah. Can you backtest on TradingView tool? Oh yeah, it's possible. Yeah, there's a replay function on TradingView, so you can backtest. Why don't you trade in ranging market? If it's ranging in a daily chart or higher time frames, then I don't take trades because it's not efficient. Yeah, the target is going to be relatively few pips or less pips than being on trend. When it's in ranging in lower time frames like 515, I still take trades. As long as 1 hour chart or up higher time frames are on a trend, I take trades in lower time frame range market. But higher time frame range market, I don't take trades. Yeah, these are the real returns. Yeah, that's true. The spot fails, that's why I'm here, learning from the expert now. Okay, please lower the background music a little bit. Okay. Sorry, was it too loud? Okay, there you go. I've already lost 2.6k. Is just 2 weeks with bots. Thank you for confirmation. Sure, you're welcome. You're welcome. Why don't you have a haircut? I had a haircut like 2 or 3 days ago, so it's my style. Okay, why do you not provide VIP signal? Because I never use it. And I never became profitable on these services. I used to use it in back in like 2013-14. I used to use it, but based on my experience, I became stably profitable after taking trades manually by myself. And that's why I don't offer such services, based on my own experience. When Kijun-sen flat in 1 hour chart but daily up, will you out the trade? Yeah, if daily chart is still up, then I keep holding the buy still. With this speed, you will be millionaire in next years. So this is my short-term investment. So, and I'm actually creating more portfolios in the mid to long term in stock market and real estate, and that's what I'm thinking to do sometime this year. And I'm still studying stock markets, like some of the fundamental stock markets, and I'm looking for a broker to trade the stock market in Japan. Yeah, but not so much real estate anymore. I just sold these 3 properties this January, so I don't have any properties now. But yeah, forex trading for me is the short-term investment, which is either a day to like 2 or 3 weeks of term investment. Yeah. Okay, so I guess I will be ending live in about 5 minutes and switch to the membership live afterwards. Have you ever used ATR? No, I haven't. Heads next. If someone has a solid strategy that could be coded, it should work on a bot, right? But remember, there's no same market from the past. So it might work, it might not gonna work, depending on market condition. What time frame do you trade in? I take trades in 5 or 15-minute charts. It is not difficult to keep emotionless when you think about everything you could do with all this money. Yeah, I don't think that this money is like a real, and that's why, because I have my living expense already, monthly pay I have, and I know how much it costs monthly basis in my living expense, and everything else I save it, so I don't really spend much money besides how I live. Sometimes I do the maintenance in violin, I spend a little bit of money, but I don't really buy lots of things. I'm not like into material things, like yeah, I just eat out maybe once a week or once in 2 weeks. I eat out, and I do exercise, and I have like a minimal type of style of life, so I don't spend much money. So I don't really care about how much I make or so. But when I start to invest my money into real estate, then I have to have money. Or when I move into Dubai, I have to have money, right? And this money is for that. This money is not for me to enjoy, but this money to invest to other investments in the future in the mid to long term. Okay, so I guess that's it for today's live. So tomorrow, what I'll be talking about is the Ichimoku weekly Forex forecast. So every Sundays I talk about the market, and yeah, tomorrow is the 23rd of August. So I will talk about Ichimoku weekly Forex forecast from 24th and 28th of August next week, and also I will be covering some of the important news that's coming up next week. Okay, so thank you for joining, everyone. I hope you enjoyed today's live. So for those who are Ichimoku members, I will see you in about 10 minutes, and for those who are joining in public lives, I will see you tomorrow. So everyone have a great weekend and stay gold. Bye for now. Mata ne. Thank you.